Today's video is the 5 things you must do in buying a house. Hi, I'm James Sharp with the Sharp Real Estate Group. Today is all about having the difference out there. There's an average real estate experience or the Sharp Real Estate experience coming to work for you. And today we're going to hit those 5 top tips to do when you're buying a house. Unless you're paying cash, the first thing I would always tell every single buyer that comes through the office here, gotta get you pre-approved. Fully underwritten is ideal, and what does that mean? It means you've gone through the full loan application process. You've gotten with a great lender. A lot of times we can refer you to a good person, but if you have your lender, you get them fully underwritten and fully approved, there is a difference out there because you'll know exactly what you can spend. You know exactly how much your monthly payment's gonna be. You have kind of every bit on the financial piece put together. Then we can find the property, but you gotta start with getting pre-approved. And what I prefer a lot of my clients do now is get fully underwritten, where basically once we have that fully underwritten file, we find a house and we can plug and play and go right to it. Second thing I find a lot of times, number 2, is finding that they buy as new a house as they can afford. And what I mean by that is there is average houses out there, and then there's newer echelon houses, the newer construction house, for example. I always tell people this, and we're in the Dallas-Fort Worth market here, so depending on where you're at there, we have a proliferation of new homes. And the newer the home, the less it's gonna cost you to maintain it, to insure it, to keep it up. The utility bill is gonna be lower, your maintenance bill is gonna be less. Overall, in the whole scheme of things, long term, it's always a good idea. One of the top things that I always tell my buyers, buy as new a home as you can afford. And if it means you forego some of the finishes to get a newer house, so be it. You're gonna be better in the long run. Top number 3 thing, and I love this, and so I'm gonna repeat it 3 times, is location, location, location. What does that mean is you're buying not only the house, but you're buying a piece of the neighborhood. Again, what I'm talking about this is you gotta take in the whole thing. How close is it to your church, your synagogue? How close is it to the schools that your kids would be going to if you have kids? How close is it to work? How is it the drive-in there? Do I have good neighbors around it? Because you're not just buying the house. So many people forget that the house is one component of a many section house neighborhood. So you're buying a piece of that location, consider all those factors. And another tip, a little bonus tip in here on that location, is buy on the smaller end surrounded by bigger, more expensive homes. In fact, if you're surrounded by bigger, more expensive homes, your values go up, and it's a win-win when you go to sell. And number 4 is this, is buying an updated home too. Kind of the same token with that, newer the home, the better. The updated home is gonna help you in the long run too. A lot of people think they've seen Fixer Upper, Flip This House. They think they watch these HGTV programs that they can go in there and just do a Martha Stewart over the weekend and get that house totally renovated. Well, it's gonna cost you more, and it's gonna take longer. You're gonna live in a construction zone for a lot of months. Yes, I have a buyer right now that's months into the deal, and she's like, I should never have taken this on. A lot of times it's so much for that buying experience. Just buy it when it's already done. Now, if there's a few things to do, that's one thing, but I'm talking about the taking on the fixer-upper, that foreclosed property, for example, not usually the best idea. And so I always recommend that buying an updated home will save you money in the long run. You may pay a few bucks more, but you already know what your costs are gonna be. Tip number 5 there, making sure to buy an already maintained, well-maintained home. And what I mean with that, it's similar to number 4, but enough distinction that I thought it were worth its own 5th spot is, a lot of times I'll walk in the buyer up the walkway, and if the lawn's all manicured, everything is cleaned off the windows, not a dust mite in sight. Everything is prime and proper. Everything has its place. The really telltale is get into the master closet. If that master closet is all organized and everything's color-coded, I'm like, guys, this is a great house to buy. Now, what I'm saying is if there's any disrepair, any little creaks or squeaks there you see, you notice discoloration on the floors or marks on the walls, usually that's somebody who maybe has kind of let their maintenance piece go away a little bit, or they're not in top condition there. And I find that if you're following these guides and these tips there, if you see those little telltale signs, you can't help it. That house will shine like a diamond out of the bunch there. Those are great tips there. And what we want to do here is just bring you some really good good information that you, as a buyer of a house there, you're spending a lot of money. This is sometimes your biggest investment you ever spend. Due diligence there, finding these little tips and strategies. Hopefully this video's proved some good insights. If you want more information, you have additional questions I didn't cover, just leave us a comment in the section below. We'll get right back to you. There's a difference out there with real estate agents, I find. There's the average agents or the Sharp Agent team, and we are all working to help you bring you home the Sharp way. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like us on Facebook. Make sure to like this video below. Have a great day.